It is 2000 hours Central African time. Welcome. This is a live broadcast of the main news. My name is Patla Nepurem.
And my name is Marion Shaba. Thank you so much for joining us. In our headlines tonight, President Emmerson Mnangagwa impressed by efforts to grow the gold reserves.
Preparations for the COP15 set for next month in Victoria Falls well on course.
In sport, Dynamos secure their second win of the season after edging Yada 1-0 in a Kasolaga Premier Soccer League match played this afternoon.
And as well, we do have Nobo Maungwa with us on our sign language desk. Now, President Emmerson Mnangagwa is impressed by the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe's efforts to grow the country's gold reserves. The
president inspected the RBZ gold vaults in Harare today.
Behind me here is the vault where over 700 million United States dollars worth of gold is lying. The President of the Republic paid a visit to see the progress, the implementation of his policy, which came out 2 years ago. And he is quite satisfied that the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe has adhered to his call that this currency, the ZIG, must have gold backing.
A country to be solid, even a currency to be respected, it must have backing of solid gold. We didn't have this before, and we decided to have it, and physically here it is now there. But I believe that our currency will now stand on a solid ground because it is backed. As we go on, we cannot have to continue to have a currency that goes up and down, you know. But once a currency is based on a solid gold as in the past, then it's a solid currency.
The President, Comrade Emmerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa, has been capacitating youths in the informal mining sector and wants them to formalize their operations.
Instead of us identifying them as criminals, we've taken them on board as Zimbabweans who are contributing to the economy of the country. We need only to regularize the work they are doing and put them into the mainstream of gold production.
The governor of the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe chipped in and said, we have adhered to the call by the president to have gold-backed currency. And here we are.
We have 17 billion ZIG worth of money in circulation in this market. And the gold and the forex that we are holding is worth 700 million US dollars or 19 billion ZIG, which means every ZIG that is in circulation is covered by this gold that you are seeing here. And this is why you are seeing the stability in the currency that has been prevailing over the past year.
The stability you see in the Zimbabwe gold currency is because of what the governor of the Reserve Bank and his team have done. Over 3.4 tons of gold are now in the vault. Ruben Barwe, ZPC News at the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe.
Meanwhile, the country's economy is now reaping the fruits of President Emmerson Mnangagwa's directive to grow gold reserves, which has helped stabilize the local currency and create a foundation for future growth.
It is the standard practice for a well-functioning economy to maintain a certain level of foreign currency and gold reserves, essentially to provide an import cover for the country for a minimum of 3 months. In Zimbabwe's case, vaults were virtually empty about 2 years before President Emmerson Mnangagwa gave a directive to mining companies to pay royalties in physical commodity. Just before the launch of the ZIG currency in April last year, 1.5 tons of reserves had been accumulated. And this Thursday, when President Mnangagwa paid a surprise visit to the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe, he witnessed the 3.5 tons of reserves. The gold reserves worth US $700 million sufficiently cover the gold-backed ZIG currency in circulation, translating into the stability of the ZIG in the foreign exchange market. This has also been manifested in low monthly inflation levels of just below 1% for the 2 months running up to May. This milestone guarantees the country of its own stable currency towards attaining a monocurrency regime in future, but additionally it has seen Zimbabwe ranking number 6 in Africa in reserves in just over 2 years when it started accumulating these reserves. The RBZ has set sights on creating a buffer of at least 5 tons of gold reserves by the end of the year, with several central banks in Southern Africa reaching out to the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe to tap into its expertise in gold reserves management framework. Owen Mandova, ZBC News, Harare.
In other news, political analysts say the development drive adopted by the Second Republic is making the ruling ZANU PF party more popular across urban and rural constituencies. This comes after the party emerged victorious in the recent by-elections held in Gutu East and in Caesar North constituencies.
Last week's by-elections saw the ruling ZANU PF party retaining Gutu East and in Caesar North constituency seats, as well as council seats in Chipinge and Binga. According to political analyst Mr. Lazarus Sauti, ZANU PF has maintained a strong relationship with communities through implementation of transformational development projects across the country.
ZANU PF has maintained a strong presence in rural constituencies, and this strong presence is informed by its engagement with the rural electorate. Remember, when it comes to grassroots development, most people from rural communities benefit from the initiatives of the government, and the government is led by ZANU PF, and it was not even surprising for ZANU PF to win all the contested by-elections in Gutu as well as in Caesar.
Another political analyst, Mr. Gibson Nikadzino, noted that the clean sweep by the ruling party in the recent by-elections reflects on the effective mobilization strategy by the party.
The opposition in Zimbabwe, it has grown fatigued. It is tired of contesting against an industrial political hub like ZANU PF, which has managed since 2017, 2018 to realign and remodel its organization institutionally and in terms of mobilization. So as of now, the clean sweep can also be accredited to the changing dynamics internally and externally. In the past, the opposition benefited from an external voice that called for the removal of ZANU PF, but that dynamic has changed because even those internally and externally are now willing to negotiate and do business with the ZANU PF.
Apart from infrastructure development projects, ZANU PF is also implementing various empowerment initiatives, including establishing village business units as part of the rural industrialization drive. Bruce Chawanda, ZBC News, Harare.
Now, Zimbabwe's record tobacco deliveries, which now stand at over 300,000 million kilograms, have been described as a milestone achievement for the Second Republic, whose development agenda is hinged on productivity in agriculture, among other key economic sectors.
Latest statistics by the Tobacco Industry and Marketing Board, TIMB, reflect that farmers delivered 302 million kgs of the golden leaf, raking in over $1 billion United States dollars. This new historic feat by farmers has been described by tobacco economic experts Mr. Dixon Kubvakacha as a catalyst for transformation of farmers' lives.
Due to the wise leadership of our iconic president, Dr. Idi Mnangagwa, we are seeing the rural development commandant yielding fruits. We are seeing farmers driving top-of-the-range vehicles in the rural areas. They are drinking safe water in line with Vision 2030. They are also in a position to do as they please, sending their children to school.
TIMB chairperson, Mr. Patrick Daphnish, said, by hitting 300 million kgs mark for the first time in history, Zimbabwe's tobacco industry has achieved one of the goals set out in the Tobacco Value Chain Growth Plan goals.
Today we crossed the 300 million kilo mark, which, as you know, is a record. We think we might even get to 310 or maybe a little bit more, which is absolutely fabulous news for our economy. We also passed the $1 billion mark for money paid for this tobacco. And when that tobacco is packed and exported, it will become $2 billion. So it's a gigantic step for our country.
A new record has put Zimbabwe on the world map as one of the biggest producers of the golden leaf that is desired in over 60 countries. Government is anticipating that tobacco deliveries for this season will reach the 330 million kgs mark.
SADC member states have concurred on the need to develop actionable strategies and harmonize policies for the region to develop a robust education system. We get more in the next report.
Southern African Development Community SADC education ministers and delegates convened today in Harare for a high-level ministerial roundtable dialogue emphasizing the critical role of foundational literacy and numeracy in the region's education development.
The SADC region has made commendable strides in education, but our work is far from complete. As honorable ministers and leaders, we must champion policies that prioritize early grade learning, invest in teacher training, and harness innovation to reach marginalized communities. Today's roundtable is a platform to share best practices, forge partnerships, and align our strategies with the SADC Regional Indicative Strategic Development Plan and the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal number 4.
The need to invest in education and champion educational policies that align with SADC's Regional Indicative Strategic Development Plan also came under spotlight.
For children to succeed, they must acquire the fundamentals of reading, writing, and basic mathematics. These skills are the precondition for accessing the curriculum in secondary, vocational, technical, and higher education level. Foundational literacy and numeracy contributes significantly to human capital development and yields all the benefits to health, employment, poverty reduction, and social participation.
Member states agreed to prioritize policy harmonization and build robust education systems across all member states.
Scaling up professional development and addressing rural-urban disparities in educator deployment is also very important. We need to also emphasize data-driven solutions. We need to strengthen our monitoring frameworks to track learning outcomes, especially for marginalized groups. But basically, we need to ensure that our curriculum development, our educational policies are driven with credible and well-analyzed data.
Member states also agreed that it is imperative to align their national strategies with the SADC Protocol on Education and Training to ensure coherence and mutual accountability. John Nandara, ZBC News.
Now, the First Lady, Dr. Auxilia Mnangagwa, who's in Dubai for the 7th edition of the MEC Foundation First Ladies Initiative Summit, held a meeting with the health practitioner, Dr. Manao Tyram, who is the CEO of No Dubai Foundation, and they deliberated on various issues surrounding health.
Health and Child Care Ambassador, First Lady Dr. Auxilia Mnangagwa, who is in Dubai for the 7th edition of the MEC Foundation First Ladies Initiative Summit, held a high-level meeting on the sidelines of the summit with one of United Arab Emirates ophthalmologist or top eye specialist, who is also No Dubai Foundation CEO, Dr. Manao Tyram, to deliberate on various issues with regards to the health sector. The good work being done by the First Lady Dr. Mnangagwa in complementing government efforts to ensure that people have access to quality and affordable healthcare services continues to charm the global community, which expresses keenness to work with the government of Zimbabwe. Among many other areas of philanthropic work, Dr. Mnangagwa, who is the country's health and childcare ambassador, works hard to ensure that there is affordable and quality healthcare for everyone. Against this background, Dr. Mnangagwa, who is in Dubai, head the No Dubai Foundation, inviting it to explore possible areas of cooperation with the government of Zimbabwe, with regards to eye care. Dr. Teriam pledged No Dubai Foundation's readiness to work with Zimbabwe in providing eye care services by initiating preventative programs which include provision of surgeries, eyeglasses, and medication. In addition to providing treatment, preventative and educational programs, the foundation aims to empower communities by overcoming the burden and devastating impact of blindness on everyday lives. No Dubai Foundation is a UAE-based charity organization focused on the prevention of blindness and visual impairment globally. Since its launch in 2008, 33 million people from all over Africa and Asia have benefited from the foundation's free treatment and preventative programs, which include provision of surgeries, eyeglasses, and medication. No Dubai was launched with the vision of a world free from avoidable causes of blindness. It provides therapeutic, preventative, and educational programs to treat and prevent blindness and visual impairment in developing countries. Dr. Mnangagwa, who is the Health and Childcare Ambassador, welcomed the initiative, saying that people's health is a priority since a healthy nation is a productive nation. The First Lady added that investments in eye care, particularly in addressing preventable causes of vision impairment like cataracts, are a valuable strategy for poverty reduction and socio-economic development. Dr. Mnangagwa commended the excellent relationship between Zimbabwe and UAE, also outlined some of the initiatives she is spearheading through Angel of Hope Foundation and some of the work she is doing with the Ministry of Health in her capacity as the Health and Childcare Ambassador.
When a nation is healthy, then it prospers. And a healthy nation gives more to its people. After they get this service, they'll now be free and independent to do their work and help their families. When a country is developing, it has to protect its GDP by making its people mobile and independent to work for themselves. We look forward and continue to wanting to have health services. We have our Ministry of Health and Childcare, which does everything when it comes to ailments of our people. We have NGOs as well, and that's where also my foundation comes in. I work closely with the Ministry of Health and Childcare. We'll show you one of the hospitals so you see what is there in terms of equipment and readiness of our health workers and also training.
The eye specialist and No Dubai Foundation CEO Dr. Manao Tariam marveled at the First Lady's unquestionable care for the people of Zimbabwe's well-being, highlighting a keen interest to start working with Zimbabwe soon. She also commended the First Lady for an all-inclusive approach which sees her visiting hard to reach areas, adding that it dovetails with their mission at No Dubai Foundation. Dr. Teriam also highlighted that in their quest to capacitate the communities they'll be working in, they will make use of local doctors in every of their mission.
I'm very happy today to get the opportunity to get to know the First Lady. It's really a pleasure for us. And today was a great opportunity for us to get to know the needs and the requirements in Zimbabwe. We are going to work very closely with the government in Zimbabwe through the Ministry of Health to customize and design a program to treat the causes of blindness and to also work very closely with government officials to explore opportunity to have sustainable programs to serve the people of Zimbabwe. When it comes to the outreach programs that we do at the No Dubai Foundation, we usually work very closely with the local communities to try to reach out to the most remote area where it is difficult for people to access good quality eye care. Because at the end of the day, that is the fundamental cause why we provide our services to the people. We'd like to also reduce the number of commuting and the amount of commuting that people have to do to reach out to the services. So we will be working in the capital city. We will be also working in remote areas across the country.
Dr. Teriam also highlighted that the initiative will also benefit school children and teachers. Since the establishment of No Dubai Foundation in 2008, millions of individuals from all over Africa and Asia have benefited from the foundation's free treatment and preventative programs. Colette Msanyera, ZBC News, Dubai.
And now from Dubai, we come back home where the Soti Source community in Gutu is set to benefit from a 160 kilowatt mini-grid solar project being implemented by the government through the Rural Electrification Fund.
The establishment of a 160 kilowatt community mini-grid solar project in Gutu West will ensure access to electricity for schools, a business center, local healthcare center and local government offices. The community is appreciative of the development.
Tinotenda ne project ino kuti ichatibetsera tikatarisa nguva yatakagara muno mu-old resettlement scheme takauya 1981. But nzvimbo ino yanga isina project inoita yemagetsi kana chii, saka project tinoitambira nenyaya kuti vana vedu nevazukuru vakuwanawo raramo inovataridza zvinoitwa nevari kumadhorobheni zvavanga vasingawani.
Clinic yedu Harare dambudziko rokuti kana madzimai akarwara pakati pousiku totenda nemakendo, asi zvino kana magetsi avapo kudai zvotifadza. Kechipiri kuzvikoro kuvana vedu vechikoro tari tiri shure zvikuru.
Project yavatisira kuno kwa 3 kwedu kuno Gutu West ichasomudzira madzimai kuita maprojects akasiyana sezvekuita zvemabusiness emashopu vachitengesa zvinhu zvinotonhorera vachikwanisa futi kuita zvemaincubator tachingozvichema kuti magetsi acho togomaona kupi.
Project implementers, the Rural Electrification Fund, revealed that they are putting final touches to the solar plant.
The project yave pa 95% completion. Tiri kutarisira kuti nekupera kwemwedzi uno wa June inenge yapera ichizokomishinwa muna July.
Special advisor to the president responsible for monitoring implementation of government projects, Comrade Joram Gumbo, who assessed the project this Wednesday, said government remains committed to electrification of all communities.
It's a project that will benefit the community of this area. And at the same time, it will also bring some benefits to the nation as a whole, in the sense that the community around here will have power, energy power at schools, at clinics, at hospitals, at churches.
Government is implementing several programs to ensure access to electricity countrywide, including establishment of solar mini-grids, expansion of hydropower plants, and upgrading of existing thermal power stations, among others. Ms. Martina, ZBC News, Gutu.
Harare province is seeking to improve on its 23% contribution to the national gross domestic product. This is coming out at the Harare Metropolitan Provincial Development Dialogue that was held in the capital today.
As the country transitions from National Development Strategy NDS-1 to NDS-2, the Second Republic's devolution and decentralization agenda remains a top priority. This Thursday, Harare Metropolitan Province and the National Economic Consultative Forum co-hosted a dialogue aimed at advancing the provincial development agenda. Amid revelations, the capital city has been topping contributions to the national gross domestic product.
Hapana munhu anofanira kusarira kana nzvimbo inofanira kusarira. Uyai tinzwe zvichemo zvenyu, uyai tinzwe pamunoti tofanira kukwenenzvera, uyai tiwirirane kuti chii chasarira. Onai kuwanda kuri kuita vanhu mumadhorobha medu nenzvimbo dzatinogara. Hongu zvese tiri kuita. Pamunofunga kuti tiri kunonoka, chii chamunofunga kuti tiite kuti tikurumbidze tichimbidze.
Senior civil servants who were part of the dialogue underscored the importance of multi-stakeholder collaboration and the need for all arms of government to embrace the devolution agenda.
Kuti vamunangagwa vanoti ivo nyika inovakwa navene vayo. Saka vene veHarare ndo vatiri kukurudzira kuti hatiumbei nokuvaka Harare sevene vayo ichizowanikwawo ichicontributa kubudirira kweZimbabwe yese tenderere.
Tiri kuti isusu aiwa nguva yekuramba tichingota matare yakapera yanguva yezvinezvi kuti tikwanise kuti tigadzise guta redu. Takatarisa kudaro commission yanga yakaiswa napresident kuti iongorore ichiita utikitivha kuti chii chaichiitika maringe nenyaya yekubatwa kwedzemari, kubatwa nezveland yemuno service delivery yanga isingauye, zvinhu zvisingafambe. Ripoti yakapera yakapuwa mukuru wenyika. Saka tamirira kuzonzwawo kumukuru wenyika ndiye achaudza nyika yose kuti chafamba takaita sei.
Several stakeholders have pledged to be part of Harare's development agenda.
Kubandiko rema-SMEs yakakosha zvachose nekuti iri kuunza ma-SMEs kuti vakwanise kutaura zvavanofunga zvavanoda nematambudziko avari kusangana nawo munodonho reHarare province ekuti iva matambudziko akakwanisa kugadziriswa contribution yesektor yema-SM inokura fani towards our GDP yenyika.
Tinotarisira kuti dialogue iyi irambe ichienderera mberi, hurukuro idzi ngadzirambe dzichienderera mberi, ngadzirambe dzichipa vanhu mukana kuti vataure zvavanoda.
The dialogue was running under the theme towards inclusive socio-economic transformation, leaving no one and no place behind. Festus Mukonguru says ZBC News, Harare.
Now for your views and comments on issues raised on our bulletins, feel free to log on to our website www.zbcnews.co.zw.
We're also available on various social media platforms. Just find ZBC News online and you should be able to connect with everything that is happening at this center. Well, this is what you can look forward to when we come back from the break.
Preparations for the COP15 set for next month well on course.
When we look at sport, Dynamo securing their second win of the season in the Kasolaga Premier Soccer League. We'll tell you what happened at Rufaro Stadium today. Or be sure to join us for that and a whole lot more when we come back.
Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed citizens of Zimbabwe, mark your calendars. All roads lead to Bay Bridge on Saturday, the 21st of June 2025, for the highly anticipated Run for Hope Half Marathon in honor of our esteemed Vice President, Honorable Colonel Retired Campbell Dugish Mohadi, under the theme Championing a Drug-Free Future Towards Vision 2030. This event promises to unite participants from across the nation in a celebration of health, fitness and community spirit. Distance to be covered include 3 kilometers, 5 kilometers, 10 kilometers and the full 21 kilometers. On Saturday, the 21st of June 2025 in Bay Bridge, this marathon is more than just a race. It's a tribute to the Vice President's unwavering dedication to the health and well-being of our nation. Registration is absolutely free. Sign up today at www.hypenation.co.zw or call 0719-591-300 for more information. Whether a seasoned runner or a beginner, this is your chance to challenge yourself while enjoying the stunning landscapes of Bay Bridge. Let's come together, young and old alike, for a day of fitness, fun and unity. Together, let us embody the resilience and strength of the Zimbabwean spirit and make this marathon a day to remember. See you at the starting line. Proudly sponsored by Net1.
It's the Matabeleland North edition of the Zimbabwe Prisons and Correctional Service Commissioner General's Goodwill Trust Fund fundraising golf tournament set for Saturday, the 21st of June 2025 at the Elephant Hills Golf Club. Come and play golf and network with the ZPCS officials, participants and other stakeholders expected to grace the event in the background of the mighty Victoria Falls. Great marketing and sponsorship opportunities are available to raise both financial and material resources for the ZPCS Commissioner General Goodwill Trust Fund. Be there in Victoria Falls on Saturday, the 21st of June at Elephant Hills Golf Course for the ZPCS Commissioner General's Goodwill Trust Fund, numbers indicated below. See you there.
Mark your calendar, June 25th to 28th. Victoria Falls hosts the 2020 running under the theme Unlocking Business Potential Through Policy, Partnerships and Productivity. Join top business minds with Honorable VP Dr. Chiwenga as the esteemed guest of honor and keynote speaker Dr. Arikana Juhombori.
Enjoy the Gala Dinner National Awards Ceremony, plus the inaugural Presidential Golf Tournament on June 27th. For registration, visit zncc.co.zw or call 0242 770244.
If you drink, be responsible.
Over 200,000 winners! Earn at least 20 points when you cash in. Send money, buy airtime or data, make payments, receive money from the diaspora, or receive your salary via EcoCash. And you could be in the running to win an all-expenses-paid trip to watch an AFCON match in Morocco, a holiday for two in Dubai, solar kits, cows, fridges, gas stoves, motorbikes, cash, airtime, and so much more. It's simple. Simply transact, earn points, and win in the Chakachaya Ziawaku EcoCash promotion. Dial *151# or use the EcoCash app now. EcoCash. Live life the EcoCash way.
Welcome back. You are still watching the main news. Now, Zimbabwe has taken a significant step towards improving its ability to detect and respond to public health threats with the official launch of the National Event-Based Surveillance Guidelines in Harare today. Now, the guidelines are expected to play a crucial role in building a real-time and people-centered early warning system for disease outbreaks.
The launch of the Zimbabwe National Event-Based Surveillance Guidelines marks a pivotal moment in the country's public health strategy. Speaking at the launch, the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Health and Child Care, Dr. Aspect Maunganidze, described the guidelines as more than just a policy document, but rather a bold national commitment to protecting the health and safety of all Zimbabweans.
It's very important that we build a health system that listens, responds and adapts in real time. So this is a very bold step forward that we have taken. This should be a real start of an implementation matrix with a proper roadmap that we will take through. So we must work together to translate this policy into practice.
The launch was attended by regional and global health partners who reaffirmed their commitment to Zimbabwe's public health journey.
This adoption and launch of the National Event-Based Surveillance Guidelines, encompassing a One Health approach, comes at a critical time when Africa is faced with various public health events, human, man-made, and even natural, hence the need to strengthen the surveillance capacities in the health security.
UNICEF is proud to stand with the ministry and other partners in this transformative journey. For us, surveillance is not just a technical intervention. It's a tool to protect every child, every woman, every community that we serve.
WHO stands ready to work with the Ministry of Health and Childcare and partners to support your ministry to strengthen resilience of the health system to deal with public health emergencies.
The event-based surveillance guidelines are part of Zimbabwe's broader efforts to meet global health security targets and achieve early detection and response capabilities for both known and emerging diseases. The event brought together development partners and local authorities united in their vision of building a stronger, safer, and more responsive public health system. Abigail Tembo, ZBC News, Harare.
From that health surveillance story, we cross over to our Montrose studios.
Well, thanks of the world, we now carry on with the news from this end. The Ramsar Convention on Wetlands has been impressed by Zimbabwe's level of preparedness ahead of the convention's meeting in July this year.
The world will gather in the resort city of Victoria Falls from 23 to 31 July 2025 to shape the global wetlands discourse. This Thursday, key stakeholders convened in the Wetlands City to discuss the state of preparedness to host the event, and it emerged that government has released over $400,000 United States dollars for the cause.
We are happy with the progress that they've been made, including the funding. The Ministry of Finance has disbursed the money for the hosting of this conference. We have also found them very handy in terms of dispersing money to the different committees that are handling various issues.
Parliamentarians have urged organizers to also prioritize showcasing Zimbabwe's innovations and traditional foods during the conference.
Tinenyaya yemauniversity nemacollege ari kuita ane ma-innovation hubs awo ari kuita zvevarietation and beneficiation zvakafanana nekubika marura kuri kuitwa mayewo emarura, doro remarura nemawaini emarura, ma-ice cream nemayogurt anobva kumarura. Zvinhu zvakatipoteredza zvinofanira kunge zvichiuya panonyaya panguva yekuti zvakuexhibitwa pano nyika dzokunze dzione kuti ndozvatiri kunoku.
The issue of pricing of tourism products and services was also spotlighted.
We are very happy that Cabinet has okayed our bill and it's now in the Parliament, and very soon it will be announced and the process of the bill will take place. It is only after the bill has passed and gone through its processes whereby the ministry is going to deal with this issue about the pricing model of our accommodation in Victoria Falls, more so across all the accommodation facilities in the country.
COP15 marks a significant milestone as it is the first time Zimbabwe will host the conference and only the second time it will be held in Africa, following Uganda's hosting of COP9 in 2005. Tichaona Kurewa, ZBC News, Victoria Falls.
Children of war veterans in Malawi have started accessing the $500,000 United States dollar revolving fund availed by government as an empowerment vehicle.
Through the fund, the children of war veterans are expected to start income-generating projects that will make them self-reliant while contributing to national development.
We are very happy ngemali lesiyitholileyo, and ibuye ngesikhathi esihle ngoba inani iningi lethu alikho emsebenzini, so ukuziphilisa kuba nzima. At that same time sesiku age lana ukuthi lathi sesilabethu abantwana abakhangelela ukuthi lathi kube something esiyalayo at the end of the day. So sizizwa sijabulile ukuthi lathi sakwazi ukuzithuthukisa, and ukuzithuthukiseni kwethu ikuthuthukisa ifamily, ekuthuthukiseni ifamily is also ukuthuthukisa le community lapho esivela khona.
Ya thina njengabantu abamavethi siyabonga ngemali esiphiweyo ngokonke okuyenzakele nxathi kuqala iprogram lezi sasingabonwa sasingabalwa babengasikhanyele bekhanyela ama youth, kodwa siyabonga ukuthi lathi baze basibona. Ngingayithola imali lemele into ebambekayo njenge project kumbe make i project enjani ezakwanisa ukubenefit abantu abamina labantu abami.
The ZANU PF and Children of Zimbabwe War Veterans and Zimbabweans Association Leadership for Bulawayo Province held the initiative, saying it will transform many lives.
Ngithande ukubonga kakhulu upresident wethu uMnangagwa ngendlela osenzela ngayo njengabantwana bama veterans, ngokokuqala ukuthola usizo lokuncediswa njengabantwana bama veterans. Kuyasijabulisa ukuthola umongameli ofana lo baba uMnangagwa. Ubaba wabona ukuthi sesihlupheke kakhulu singathola usizo kungela lapho esincediswa khona, wasekubona ukuthi kungcono lathi kuzo zonke izinto ezenzakala elizweni sibe le 20%, especially ezenzakala ku government sithole i20% kulezo zinto. Okwesibili wasesi empower ngemali ukuthi sikwanise ukuthi sizimele sodwa singabi yilabana abantwana abathanda ukucela kumbe abahlala benjani bebalanswe ngabanye abantwana.
This initiative is a testament to government's thrust of leaving no one and no place behind in its empowerment efforts.
Leaving no one and no place behind indeed. Well, let's move on to Hwange, where product diversification has enabled Hwange's Lukosi Irrigation to maintain a balanced cropping system that caters for domestic consumption and commercial dividends for the farmers on the scheme. Let's hear more.
Thriving on all-year-round agriculture in an arid Hwange district,
Lukosi Irrigation has altered food production dynamics. The scheme has also empowered the locals economically, with farmers producing for their own consumption and for commercial purposes.
Irrigation pairimbuya apana kufane jara shajuri wose unogara wakarima chete unotengesa unowana zokucheja vana kuchikoro
mwezuri mwazvedu mashoti variety zvinokambisa kuiva ezvo zvinokambisa kuiva ndipo patinowana mari dzokubhadharira vana kuchikoro kubhadhara vhura tinokwanisa kumaintaina makanaro zedu because amufa
okulima zinto zisiyene siyene zifambana kutupa mali ndavati ulima zinto zisiyene uli zifambana ziratupa mali zimwe zirachedwa muri beans especially yachedwa but twalima muri ma vegetable ngatwafambana kujata mali
sikulimire salima amatamatisi lembita sikasukulima ngo December lembita beans sihlanyele kathesi izo ezikhona sihlanyelayo esikubhizi ngakho kathi siwithi sihlanyele kathi iyamila but ayikalimili yonke kodwa but isimilile kuningi bayonke sifakile kathi siwithi yesilimileyo.
For what once looked like a humble project, the communal farmers at Lukosi Irrigation are pleased that they have been consistently cultivating more than 20 hectares of wheat. Their vegetable produce has also become an important component in the agriculture value chain in the district. As they look forward to the next ripening crop, plans are already in place over which crops to produce. The activity here stands as a successful encouragement by government to ensure commercialization of agriculture even at micro level. CBC News, Wange.
Well, that's all from the Montrose News Desk. I am Sibigele Maposa. Mariana Butler, over to you for the rest of the bulletin from this end. Good evening.
Thank you so much, Subukele. And now moving on, the government says the country has witnessed an influx of tourists through gastronomy tourism. This was revealed by the Deputy Minister of Tourism and Hospitality Industry, Honorable Tongai Mnangagwa, during today's Senate question and answer session at the Parliament of Zimbabwe in Mount Hampton.
Hospitality industry to attract tourists are working, particularly gastronomy tourism, with the Deputy Minister, Honorable Tongai Mnangagwa, giving positive feedback.
Now ya mataura echikafu chedu chatoti gastronomy chikafu chenzvimbo nenzvimbo chiri kugamuchigwa zvakanyanyisa kusvika pakuti United Nations yakatouya kuno tikanosangana kuVictoria Falls tikadana Africa yose kuti vauye vanhu varatidzire zvinobikwa kunyika dzavo. Mukaona nhau yacho iyoyo inoita kuti vanhu vafambe kutourism. Kuna vanongofambira izvozvo vachitendera nyika nenyika. Zviri kuwedzera manambers edu munomu.
Questions to do with accessibility to affordable housing were also asked.
We have some areas where there is state land, and we are going to build affordable houses in those areas. Like in Harare South, we have another land in South Park and other areas. The land is still there. If funds permit us, we'll be constructing houses.
The welfare of widows and veterans of the liberation struggle were also brought forward.
Recently, we launched the program whereby we are going to service tents for the veterans of the liberation struggle, and those widows will as well benefit from that.
Senators questioned the media coverage plan for the Ramsar Convention set for Victoria Falls next month.
We are overwhelmed with putting in place transmitters and also beefing up our human resources by engaging more people as per our geographical location, linguistic and cultural definition of our country as constitutionally contained, by employing more people in the languages that are found and spoken in Zimbabwe, so that they can articulate to the public the importance of COP15.
Illegal sanctions, challenges being caused by stray animals, the revival and marketing of other tourist destinations across the country. Mount Hampton.
And that report takes us to another break. When we come back, we'll look at your business news and later on sport.
Dreaming of leveling up your studies? Enroll this June at Trust Academy in partnership with Midland State University. Apply future with expert support, flexible learning, and recognized qualifications. Success is within reach. Call us today and take the first step.
ZIMRA hearing on the 25th of June 2025. Taxpayers are advised to submit returns through the TARM system and pay the tax due through the TARM single account. Returns and payments can be submitted even before the due date. For any assistance, taxpayers are encouraged to contact ZIMRA through the ZIMRA contact center by email on 782-729-862 or toll-free numbers 585 or 08010271 net 1. ZIMRA, my taxes, my duties, building my Zimbabwe.
Crowd goes absolutely emphatic.
Get ready for more on SuperSport, the only place to watch all the FIFA Club World Cup.
Vakuru vedu vemakare vaiziva kurunga zvinwiwa nezvekudya zvinobatsira kuti ugare wakagwinya. Isu veCaptain takaona zvakakosha kuti tibike Captain Ginger Wise tichishandisa zvinwiwa izvi. Gara wakagwinya neCaptain Ginger Wise. Tibatei pa 0775 135 800. Captain, inaka nesimba muchinwiwa chimwe chete.
Welcome back. You're watching the main news. It's now time for business. The government has called upon young innovators to develop their ideas into successful enterprises by making use of the National Venture Capital Company of Zimbabwe, which made its first disbursement of seed capital to a telemedicine company. We get more in the next report.
BCCZ to financially nurture their business ideas, as this Tuesday a youth-led telemedicine company founded by Agatha Mandova was awarded a 50,000 seed capital for its affordable medical solution targeting rural and underprivileged communities.
Care is a telemedicine application that was designed to improve the accessibility and affordability of primary health care, particularly in the rural areas where specialist care is limited. So we're going to insert laptops, maybe specialist care online virtually.
Innovators to work with his organization to successfully nurture their business ideas.
We are here as a long-term partner. So we're not a bank. We don't give loans per se. We actually invest in the business and the good ideas.
We offer that support through this structure here, this institute. We've got a community of young people, entrepreneurs who come and work from here. We're creating this community because it's an opportunity for us to be running different programs with them.
Government acknowledges its role to create jobs, but is cognizant of the catalytic impact of supporting entrepreneurship.
We, through the National Venture Capital Company, will be using our government prowess as a product that is fit for purpose. The young entrepreneur, Agatha, has come up with what is going to be the Uber or the InDrive of health and telemedicine.
The Second Republic has indeed earned its stripes in supporting startups, and the granting of seed capital to Kumba Care demonstrates that their hopes can be turned into reality.
Bright Season 8 winner Mpumelelo Dube, also known as Hirev Rockstar, continues to make waves on the music scene. He has collaborated with some of the country's hip-hop artists and producers for his latest offering titled Yaphela Imali Yami.
Hirev Rockstar, whose real name is Mpumelelo Dube, fuses rock, jazz and Afropop music for his sound. For his latest single, Hirev Rockstar teamed up with some of Bulawayo's finest rap artists, The Dawn and Sky, as well as Said Soul, who is a producer for his new track titled Yaphela Imali Yami.
There's a couple of interesting tracks, including Yaphela Imali Yami, as we are talking about it, and there will be also an album which will be coming up, which is called Panama, and you know, there's such exciting things, and this is the type of sound and music which I'm driving to. A fusion of rock, jazz, gospel, and
take a rock star who sings about biblical narratives in an artistic manner. In his latest offering, Hirev Rockstar seeks to give hope to individuals who have given up on life.
From Starbright and all, I learned a lot of experiences. Part of it was fusing what I do as a person with my music. So myself, I have a degree in theology, and that has morphed me into this artist who has this particular type of sound.
With a career spanning over 2 decades in the music industry, Hirev has 2 albums, 3 EPs, and numerous hit singles to his name. Some of the hit singles include Missing at 22 and Rumpamba.
Hirev Rockstar. All right, that takes us to a break. When we come back, could it be that the 7 million fans are...
Over 200,000 winners. Earn at least 20 points when you cash in. Send money, buy airtime or data, make payments, receive money from the diaspora, or receive your salary via EcoCash. And you could be in the running to win an all-expenses-paid trip to watch an AFCON match in Morocco, a holiday for 2 in Dubai, solar kits, cows, fridges, gas stoves, motorbikes, cash, airtime, and so much more. It's simple. Simply transact, earn points, and win in the Chakachaya Ziawaku EcoCash promotion. Dial *151# or use the EcoCash app now. EcoCash. Live life the EcoCash way.
Asilwela ukunqoba kuphela. Kepha silwela ukwakha isizwe esinohlonze. Sekunjalo.
Central Vehicle Registry, CVR, is noted with grave concern the increasing number of fraudsters and criminals posing for vehicle registration services, fraudulently offering to process number plates and driving licenses, misleading victims to make payments to personal accounts, false promises of collection at CVR after payment. The Central Vehicle Registry, CVR, wishes to alert the public that our services The CVR online booking platform has no payment requirements and any payment is to individual accounts for any services. All legitimate transactions must be verified exclusively through our official communication channels at ddcvr1@gmail.com or ddcvr2@gmail.com and registrarcvr@gmail.com. We strongly urge members of the public to immediately report any suspicious activity or unauthorized payment requests to both the CVR offices and the Zimbabwe Republic Police to help combat these fraudulent activities. The CVR remains committed to transparent and secure service delivery through proper official channels only. For legitimate payments, please visit CVR offices for all payments and never transfer money to personal accounts or unverified alert.
Welcome to the Sports Corner. Anasha Mrombezi here with the latest in the world of sport. Now, fading Harare Giants, Dynamo secured their second win of the season after urging Yada 1-0 in a Kazalaga Premier Soccer League match played at Rufaro Stadium this Thursday.
It's another short one. Chiunga receives it. Good play by Chiunga. Oh, finally there!
After more than 1,000 minutes of agony, Dynamos had risen to celebrate after securing a win. Dimbare had gone for 12 matches without a winner. However, against the Miracle Boys, Socha Minika's men finally secured a victory. The win was only Dimbare's second of the campaign after last testing victory against defending champion Simbabora on the 30th of March. During that time, the former Glamour Boy
win, and in our fifth game, we got that goal that separates us.
Thursday's victory, however, does lead to quench the relegation fears as Dynamos are 16th with 14 points from 16 matches. Elsewhere, early pesetas Moss returned to the top of the log after coming from behind to beat Cape United 2-1 at Ngoni Stadium. Makepekepe drew first blood curtains of Love Raima Mabisila in the 20th minute before Arthur Chinda restored parity for the hosts in the 37th minute. The hosts found the winner in the second half. However, Capes could have cooled down the celebrations, but Eric Manokoro missed the penalty with 5 minutes to go. The victory saw Moss returning to the top of the log with 34 points, 2 ahead of defending champions Simbabora. The Premier League action continues this Saturday with matches lined up across the country. Lawrence Trosera, ZBC News, Harare.
Zimbabwe will be treated to some top-notch cricket action when the Chevrons host World Test champions South Africa for 2 test matches at the Queen's Sports Club in Bulawayo later this month.
Zimbabwe last hosted South Africa in a test match in 2014, and after more than 10 years, the newly crowned World Test champions will be in Bulawayo for 2 matches starting on the 28th of this month for the successful hosting of the tour.
The preparations have gone on very well. I mean, there's not much. We're just hoping that the public comes out. South Africa have just won the World Test Championship. We also have Blessing Zaraban, who's just won the IPL. So come out in your numbers and come out some champions playing in a very excellent venue.
Tuskers General Manager Peter Mhlanga said the coming in of the Test cricket is an opportunity for the Bulawayo community to enjoy cricket.
One thing that is up, and the first test ground that they visited was Queen's Sports Club, and we did beat Pakistan here. I think we all remember that last year. Right now we've got World Test champions coming into the country. We are basically, as Bulawayo, we're privileged. Before what happened with against our neighbors, against the South Africans. But we surely, as Bulawayo, are privileged to be. They arrive, South Africa arrived in Bulawayo on the 24th, and we're picking them up from the airport on the 24th.
Meanwhile, South Africa have already named their squad for the series, keeping the bulk of the players who recently lifted the World Test Championship.
The Zimbabwe senior men's sevens rugby team, the Zambezi Cheetahs, are now in Port Louis, Mauritius, ahead of the highly anticipated 2025 Rugby Africa Cup men's sevens cup. The team had their first training session in the host nation, where they acclimatized to the local conditions and fine-tuned their skills.
The 12-man squad is determined to make a strong impression and reclaim continental glory, which they last tasted in 2012.
It's a really heavy pool in terms of all the teams that are there. Madagascar has come across as a good sevens nation, Burkina Faso, And obviously Uganda, Kenya, South Africa, you know what they bring. So yeah, but a game at a time. But again, we are going for the ultimate prize.
The Zambezi Cheetahs have been drawn in Pool C alongside hosts Mauritius, Tunisia and Madagascar, with only the top 2 sides in each pool advancing to the knockout stages. A win in Mauritius will not only bring pride to the nation, but also pave the way to the World Rugby Sevens Challenger Series, with further implications for Olympic qualification. The Cheetahs schedule for Saturday is packed, with matches against Tunisia in the morning, Mauritius at midday, and Madagascar in the afternoon.
That's it from the Sports Corner. Also take note of the Club World Cup second round match between Inter Miami and Porto that has just started. Now let's take a look at the weather.
Pleasant evening, Zimbabwe. It is time to check your weather details. My name is Benjamin Kwaramba. I hope I find you well. Well, very cold morning conditions in the early hours, and most areas were under clear skies. By afternoon, we had mild to warm conditions in most areas of the country. Now, turning to the satellite images, received this afternoon, they show cloud over the northeastern parts of the country there, while the remainder of the country was largely under clear skies. However, as we move into the week, we expect pockets of cloud, especially over the central and the northern parts of the country, such that we should be having partly cloudy conditions from time to time. Your minimum temperature is expected tomorrow. Gweru should be having 9 degrees Celsius, Harare 11, Bulawayo 10 degrees Celsius, Chirezo 13, Kariba with 16, Mutare 12, and 12 is also expected at Victoria Falls. Now, for the maximum temperatures expected tomorrow, the capital city, Harare, 25 degrees Celsius, Bulawayo 26, 31 is expected for Chirezi, while the Zambezi Valley, Kariba, and Victoria Falls both with 30 degrees Celsius. Bulawayo expect clear skies tomorrow and should be very cold in the morning, becoming mild later. Same for Matopos. In fact, expect some slight to moderate ground frost over the Matopos area. Gwanda, again, clear skies in the morning, very cold, becoming mild to warm by afternoon. Expect slight to moderate ground frost at Gweru. Masvingo, again, it should be cold in the morning, becoming mild to warm by afternoon. Nyanga, expect moderate ground frost with your minimum temperatures between 4 and 6 degrees Celsius. Marondera, again, expect slight to moderate ground frost, and the clear skies should be mild to warm by afternoon. Again, cold conditions at Harare, clear skies becoming mild to warm later. Kwekwe, again, expect a slight to moderate ground frost over the Kwekwe area. Same for Kadoma, with your maximum temperatures in the lower 20s. Chinoi, clear skies, cold at first, becoming mild to warm later. Victoria Falls, again, expect clear skies. It should be cold in the morning, becoming warm later. Lupane, clear skies, cold at first, becoming mild to warm later. Same for Bindura. Lastly, Kariba, your maximum temperatures should be in the upper 20s. Well, Zimbabwe, that does it in tonight's edition of the Weather Report and Forecast. Let's make a date again tomorrow. At the same time, it's back to the main desk.
The Weather Report and Forecast bring us to an end of tonight's edition.
Hello and welcome to this week's edition of World of Business, your weekly guide to trending business news and latest developments on the stock market. We also get to cast a spotlight on unsung but thriving entrepreneurs on this show. The name is Bruce Chimbunde, and let's get straight into it. In a press statement issued on the 13th of June 2025,